As we keep growing up, somewhere we lose our inner child. But what does it take to bring that child back? I know someone in Goa who does just that by movements and dance. Let me tell you their story. Dance in its true form has existed since humans existed. Nataraj, the dancer form of Shiva, is proof enough of that. But dance was a medium and expression of freedom, joy, anger, and just letting go. But with time, this has been lost. I'm sure most of us adults won't be able to remember a single moment when we laughed openly without thinking or danced without worrying who is watching us. Because today we are conditioned to just live for survival and we become so stiff in the process and lose ourselves. But in Goa, I met Pushpanjali and Gautam, very unusual teachers and educators who teach us how to let go and explore our real selves through body movements and dance. Both of them were on their separate journeys of life, and Pushpanjali felt there was something missing in her life after she grew up.
In the journey to find my dance, that not only were all these conditions, these no's, the should nots, the can nots, the do nots, all had become knots inside of my body. And I started moving, and through these knots, through the sadness of remembering that child that I once was, I started remembering how I used to dance on a carpet and just whirl endlessly and fall down and watch this world spin around and then take form again. And in this spinning between the form and the formless, I began to find answers that were deep. I began to find myself.
While Gautam, who studied dance in New York, was working as a choreographer for many years, but felt something was not right. His work was becoming only about competition and external validation.
The dance world is full of these kind of insecurities, and you're never there. You're never flexible enough. You're never good enough. When I went to New York, exploring that, pretty much the same thing, more dancers, higher standard, but same competition and a lot of insecurity. But for me, I needed a deeper meaning, I needed a deeper understanding as to why do I dance and what does it do for me. I started asking deeper questions. A space was held for me to explore that. What does dance mean for me? Who am I? What is my story? While Gautam and Pushpanjali were going through the same dilemma, their lives coincided. And together they decided to do something about it and help everyone around them through their dance. They started working with children and teaching them how important it is to express through their bodies freely without worrying about winning or losing or trying to impress anyone. Just their bodies connecting with the surroundings and transacting with sounds, colors and nature. But for children between 4 to 8, I still feel that the more time they get in their own creative freedom of how to explore their own movement and their own process and their own expression, which is individual and unique to them, I feel that is very important for children to have, and not for an adult to come in that space and tell them what to do and impose it on them, and then see how children respond to that and make it a more playful experience. So it's a dance of bliss. It's not a dance of entertainment or competition. If you observe the tribes or indigenous cultures around us, you'll find their dance forms to be exactly how they were supposed to be thousands of years ago, to connect with nature. And that is what Gautam wondered as well. Basically researching, why did we dance in the first place? Why did my ancestors, why did they dance in the first place? Something told me it wasn't really about entertainment or competition or prize winning. And in search of that, I found some very old sacred dance forms and their philosophy for dance. How can dance serve in my own, in sharing my heart? So Gautam and Pushpanjali realized that more than kids, it's the adults who also need help. IIT Goa also realized this, and today Gautam and Pushpanjali take regular classes there. They help the students release their stress, find their inner selves
and open up to their maximum potential by getting deeper access to their body.
Just this allowance to listen to the language of the body, what it wants to say to you, whatever. We are always moving through a lot of emotions. Emotions are moving through us, and there's much to discover in those spaces about how you are feeling, what are your feelings revealing, and what are they healing as you move through this process within yourself. So movement has become a language. So for me, this kind of connection with myself, the journey to find my dance led me to come home to myself.
I hope we can all learn to bring out the inner child in us and express ourselves through dance and movements and maybe find our own story. And I'll see you in my next one. Khushiyan always. Why does it happen? And how do we get over that? What does it take to bring the inner child out? Let's just see if it is. Perfect. Khushiyan always.
Khushiyan always.